My drinking started when I was a teenager, like 14, right between 8th grade and ninth grade.
I was 14 and I drank all this weird concoctions of stuff.
I started drinking at 12 years old.
6 or 7.
11.
I didn't really start drinking heavily until I was 16.
I remember by the time I was 12 years old, I was drinking pretty regularly with my family.
We'd sneak out onto the streets in a bad neighborhood where I lived and walk around and be drunk little girls.
So I'd take these big water bottles to school, and they'd be full of screwdrivers or wine coolers or beer or whatever I decided to fill it up with that morning before I headed out the door to go to school. And I just had a big straw in there, and I just sip on it and keep a buzz going all day long. I really have no idea how I passed high school.
And by the time I turned 21, it was just, life was a mess. I didn't want to live anymore.
By the time I got sober, all I could do was crime and sell my body. And I couldn't even do that very well because I could not even smile anymore.
And I sat in my room alone with the TV and drank and drank and drank.
More than a couple nights in jail a week. I was spending months in jail.
And so I sat in the kitchen on the floor with a razor blade.
So I was 22, out of control, and people in my life were not wanting to be around me.
He took me to a speaker meeting down in San Diego, where I'm from, and I don't remember anything from that speaker meeting except that I was like one of the youngest people in the room, 17 years old, senior in high school. Nobody was telling my story. Everybody was like way older than me.
And I was at a speaker meeting, and there was this guy that was old, and I couldn't relate to him. And I said, F this, man, I got 20 more years of drinking, so I'm going to go do it. But luckily, my sponsor was in the doorway.
I walked in and decided that I just did not fit in with a bunch of people that were happy to be alcoholics and be sober.
New in sobriety, I'd be lucky if I got 5 or 6 hours of sleep every night. I'd just be up, terrified. No idea what I was afraid of, but I was just full of fear.
And I started out really slow, trying to get back into real life, like doing something in the light of day, because I hadn't done anything like that in so long.
I actually started listening.
When I wasn't working, I went to as many meetings as I could go to, especially when I was new.
I really leaned heavily on AA, and they saved me.
And I still have trouble with the God thing. I used the group for 8 years.
I was trying to make it more complicated than what it was, and it was frustrating me that there wasn't that much to it. It was just a simple way to live life, and I couldn't get that figured out because I was always used to all the chaos.
We went to this meeting. It was huge. It was like thousands of young people in this one place, and energy was just intense. And so I left there going, we gotta get a young people's meeting going here.
And it was a blast to be with like hundreds of young people that were grateful to be sober.
Crazy, and I like that. I like being in a group of people that are a lot like me. It feels very comfortable.
Just absolutely amazed that these two men, 70 years ago, could write a book that could still speak to me and millions of other people in this world today.
I don't think that the nature of my disease as an alcoholic really hit home for me until I had 2 years sober. And then my brother, who had been going in and out of AA down in San Diego, died from alcoholism. It's like something just sort of clicked at that point in time when I realized this isn't just a vacation. This isn't something I'm just going to figure out and maybe later I'll be able to drink again. It's like I realized that it's a fatal illness that kills people.
I have a close connection to the spirit of the universe. Sometimes I call it God, that I can go to on a daily basis and get strength from.
And I don't want to give up this life, so I'm going to go to any lengths to stay sober, do service, go to meetings, do whatever it takes, because I love my life now, and I love the people in it, and I don't want it to change, and I don't want to give it up. And I'm so grateful to be young and sober, because I never have heard anyone say, man, I'm glad I got sober when I was 45, I've never heard anyone say that they didn't wish they got sober at a young age, and that's what keeps me going, to know that I have it good, I'm lucky that I'm here, and I'm going to keep it, and I get to have 20 more years that I didn't have, that who knows if I'd even be alive.